Hello everyone, welcome back to our video. In today's video, I'm finally doing this Vectorman retrospective I've been wanting to do for a long ass time. Now, in the background you can see through footage of Vectorman 1. And yeah, basically I'm just going to be going over the first two Vectorman games and, well, the only two. Later on I'll talk about some of the scrap designs for Vectorman 3 as well. Anyway, let's get into this shit. The first Vectorman was released in 1995 for the Sega Genesis, a pretty late release considering the Genesis released in 1988 in Japan and 1989 in America, later going on to release in 1990 for Europe. Now, despite the fact it released pretty late into the console's lifespan, it still was able to make a total of 500,000 copies sold, which is pretty good, considered a financial success warranting a sequel being made just a year after release. Now, for the story of Vectorman 1, the game takes place in the future where the Earth has largely been destroyed by humans through pollution. Humanity temporarily leaves to distant outer space while they leave Orbots, aka Vectorman, and a few other like robot-type characters who can morph their body into different things. As you see in the gameplay behind me, Vectorman is morphed into a frog. If you have seen Vectorman, yeah, he's made up of these ball-type things that he can morph and shape into whatever he wants, really. In the game, you can turn into a motorcycle, a tornado, not a tank, that's the second game. You can get a jetpack, all that kind of stuff. But after they leave Orbots behind, the Orbots are made to clean up the Earth while humanity is away. Raster, one of the higher-level superiority robots, is accidentally connected to a nuclear warhead missile. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it just kinda did, which rapidly alters his behavior, transforming him into a basically Hitler, but a robot, known as Warhead. He gains control of all robots and plans to decide war on humanity upon their return. One robot, Vectorman, that's not the right song, but you know, had been cut off on a mission in outer space, does not fall under control, and upon seeing what is happening, decides to put a stop to Warhead's plans. Basically, it's a green robot who shoots lasers and can double jump versus literal robotic Hitler. Pretty fucking cool. Now, as for Vectorman's moveset, you can shoot plasma beams out of your arm at a rapid pace, like it is just spam. Think base for Mega Man and base. And then you have a double jump. You jump once normally, and then another jump activates your rocket boots, as you can see behind me. And you, of course, have normal movement for a 2D platformer. And the cool thing about him is, like I mentioned with the transformations, you can pick up power-ups by breaking the TVs scattered throughout the stages. Via this, you can turn into a tornado, which grants you invulnerability for a little short amount of time. A rocket pack that you only get for like one section in the game, which basically just gives you a fucking rocket pack, you know. A nuke, which you're a fucking bomb. Like, you turn into the bomb and you can just blow people up. Now, you can take damage if you're in the bomb form and get, like, hit if you get too close to someone, but yeah, if you're fucking good at the game, then it shouldn't be a problem. And then there's a motorcycle, which basically lets you run through destructible blocks, but you can get turned out of the mode if you turn to a wall that isn't destructible. Now, it is obvious what walls are destructible and what aren't, but still, that's worth taking note of if you do activate that ability. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention that this game is made by Blue Sky Software, who also made the sequel. They were the main developers, but all of the rights still owned to Sega, so, like, they could use him again. They just don't fucking want to, sadly. But, yeah. Now, in between the normal 2D side-scrolling sections of the game, there are boss fights. I want to say there's around 5 to 6 at most. At most, there's 6. Probably around 5 to 4, though, in the game. There are these little boss fights in between the platform sections, around 5 something. around that, the boss fights. Now, they are good. In my opinion, they're a highlight. My cousin seems to agree with that as well. But, as you can see in the background, this is the final fight against Warhead. Now, I want to highlight this fight because it is considered one of the best fights on the Genesis, and brother, I can't see it. Like, it's a good fight. Again, the fights are a highlight. But to specifically say this was the best one, no. Like, not in the slightest. I mean, it's a good fight, but compared to all the other ones, it's nowhere close. Also, some other things I forgot to mention. Depending on how much score you get throughout a stage, you can get more lives. You start off with 4 little balls of HP at the beginning of the game, but as you go on, you, can find health containers to give you more health. Basically, heart tanks from Mega Man X. And, yeah, after you defeat Warhead, then it's just the end of the game. So, yeah. The game just ends with Warhead being vanquished and the humans returning. So, yeah, Vectorman becomes the new hero of humanity, and that's kind of just it for Vectorman 1. It's a good game, but I just feel like the sequel is better. Now, this game is still great. I'll personally give it like a 7 to 8 out of 10. I do love this game, but I feel like the sequel is just much, much better. But, yeah, I guess we'll go on to the sequel now. Now, Vectorman 2, my personal favorite in the series, which isn't saying too much considering there's only 2 games, but, like, you know. Now, fun fact about this game, there was actually a morph contest between the first and the second, where a fan could make a custom morph for Vectorman to, as you can see right here, there's a contest winner, where someone would submit a morph design for Vectorman, and whoever won, which in this case was Joss Keeps, their morph design got put in the game. Now, I'm pretty sure this morph, it's not, no, I don't know what morph that is. I don't remember seeing an enemy like that in the game. Probably a tank or something, but, yeah, congratulations to Joss Keeps. Now, this game doesn't have any dialogue at all. It's just, also, dun 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 dun. But yeah, this game just is Vectorman taking cargo somewhere, I assume, and then he gets attacked by missiles from this alien planet, and now he's just trying to find a way to get out of here. That's kinda it for the story. Like, literally, the game ends. I guess spoilers, but the game ends with you defeating the queen of this planet, I guess. You just killed this giant spider. And then, yeah, Vectorman does a little jig and then the game ends. I assume he went back home. But, pretty weird note to end the series on, to be honest. Now, in this game, it just utilizes Vectorman so much better. Like, your moveset is essentially the same, but the morphs are a lot better and funner to use. There are 3 sections where you use your roller skate ability, and 3 other sections that are just you mining blocks. No morph, no nothing. I feel like that's probably the worst part of the game, but the segments are very short, so. Yeah, also forgot to mention, the first game had a total level count of 16, I want to say, with like 5 to 4 of those being bosses. This game has a total of 22 stages, but I'm gonna be completely honest, like 3.5 quarters of that is like the fastest levels ever. Like, literally, one of them blocks in front of you, you break like 10 of them, and you're at the exit. It's that easy. The roller skate levels, all 3 of them combined, is like 5 minutes there. Like, they are not long at all, especially if you know what you're doing. But the normal levels are very fun, and as you can see, while the first game did look beautiful, this game is just on a whole different level. This game is great. And also, to access your abilities, to get health pickups and 1-ups and stuff, you have to break open these like little little egg sacs, I'm just gonna call them that. like alien egg sacs. You just want to open those up, and there you can find your 1-up abilities and stuff. But something that I forgot was in this game before I replayed it, you can actually absorb enemies' abilities. Now, not every enemy. It's mainly just the big dudes. For example, there's a scorpion enemy on the lava stages, which if you kill him and take the A, like the little A circle he drops, you get a scorpion tail. If you kill a big rock golem type guy, you get a punch ability, like rocky fists, and you can punch stuff, etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say for this game. It's great. Like for me, I would give it like a 9 and up. But like, I mean, I did forget to mention that if you jump up in the air and shoot downwards, then you're able to like glide. But that was in the first game too. But like, I just don't really know what to add here. It's the first game, but it's just funner. But I do have to admit the story is worse. Like I liked Vectorman's one story a lot. This game is not as good. The cutscenes are cool though, especially that little Vectorman jig at the beginning. Anyway, I guess now we're just gonna talk about what could have been, and the sad reality of what happened to Vectorman 3. Now, when Vectorman 3 was cancelled, it was a pretty decent way into development. Like, there are some screenshots here from in-game. Like, there's this one. There's a full-on video as well, which I'll play after the fact. But, like, there is a lot, and I don't know what the fuck is happening to my website. But, like, here's some more concept art, and I don't really love this design for him. But, this game was going to release around, like, the Gamecast. It was going to be on the Gamecast. The fuck is a Gamecast? The Dreamcast. And, like, here, bro, here's a title for it. And it had two variations. It was going to be this military-esque game with, like, a very edgier appeal, which I don't really fuck with that. But another one was this, and I love this design. This would have been awesome. Like, genuinely, this would have been so fucking cool. Some more design and stuff. Like, there are going to be side characters, too. The first two games, the only characters were Vectorman and Warhead. That was it. And even then, Warhead doesn't say shit. At least Vectorman actually speaks in the games, but like these would have been actual characters. You would have had Pixel. You would have had Volt right here. You would have had Empress Telexia, however you pronounce that. Like, there would have been other characters, which would have been awesome. There would have been maps and stuff. Like, this would have been an awesome game. Even though it would have been on the Dreamcast, which isn't the best console. But, like, genuinely, I think this game had potential. And here's some of the box art designs. This is what the more cartoony, more faithful one would have been. This is what the military-esque one would have been. Like, I would have been fine with either of these. Like, this would have been a reboot. This would have been Vectorman 3. Like, I really, really, really wish this did happen. But I am pretty sure the reason this got canceled is because Blue Sky Software kind of dissolved, I'm pretty sure. That's the only real reason I can think of for why this got canceled. But, like, I don't know. I just really do wish that this game did happen. And it could still happen. But, yeah. It does suck, but oh well. What you gonna do? Anyway, now I'll just play some unreleased footage of Vectorman 3, and yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.